Hey guys, welcome to Sci-Fi Quest. Uh, just watched the first episode of season 3 of Picard, and I have to say, I enjoyed it. I mean, it's probably the best episode of Picard so far. I mean, the first two seasons were a complete letdown, but the second season had a good first and last episode, like I've said in the previous video. But I mean, episode 1, season 3, yeah, I'd say it's probably the best starting episode so far. There's quite a bit that happens, but nothing that you don't see in the trailers, which is disappointing. Um, but saying that, I mean, like I say, it's a good episode. I enjoyed it, and I hope you all did too. And I hope you all like and subscribe and join this channel and enjoy watching my videos as much as I really enjoy making them. Um, so we get the opening sequence with Beverly Crusher, and it's not too bad. I mean, I've never saw Beverly as that kind of violent type of person in TNG, so I don't see what context she would be that vicious. I mean, Jean-Luc says in the episode that she would only do it to protect someone important. So we get that idea, and we know exactly what she's protecting and who. So okay, no problem. But we start in Chateau Picard, and yeah, I mean, okay. I mean, why do we always have to start in the chateau? It's like he's building this life for himself. Now he's retired from Starfleet again, and I mean, I it's I don't like that Romulan lady. Uh, I never did, and I can't remember her name for that reason because she's not a memorable character. It's kind of like all the stuff with Raffi is just over my head. I mean, I don't know what's going on there. We know that she's working for Starfleet Security, and we find out that she's after the Red Lady. She's looking for the Red Lady, and well, we find out later on that exactly who the Red Lady is, but it's it's just odd. I don't like Raffi. I don't like the way that they made Seven of Nine into a. Well, I won't go into that because I'll probably get attacked for saying things that they take out of context. But yes, but season 3, episode 1. Let's get on with that, Melvin. Yeah, sorry, talking to myself in the third person. Is that a bad sign? Never mind. I'll leave it in. And right, so we get the opening sequence. I mean, it's a lovely opening sequence. I mean, it's Star Trek Picard. I mean, it always looks beautiful. Then we get Chapter 1, the Next Generation, and it's like, really, they had to go with the nostalgia of the Next Generation just because they're assembling the Next Generation cast again. But I don't know. Okay, I get where they're going. I don't really mind. But you know, it's the first episode of the final season of Picard, so I don't mind. I mean, it's not like we are likely to go and see any more Star Trek TNG shows because I think Discovery's ending after its next season. Picard's ending this after this season. We'll have Lower Decks and Prodigy, but I mean, the only other live action show that we're going to have for Star Trek is going to be Strange New Worlds, and to be honest, I think they're fucking that up. Excuse the language, but I'm just going to be blunt. Um, okay, so the Next Generation, yeah, we understand why they called it that, and yeah. Now, uh, we always get that bloody painting. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's a lovely painting, But other than nostalgia, I don't understand why they would keep having it. I mean, it's been in every single season of Picard, and whenever we're at the chateau, I mean, it always seems to center on that painting. It's like that's the painting that they're all proud of. But I don't understand how they can just show it every single time. I mean, can't they show a model of the E or or any of the models of the previous Enterprises? Like, I can understand. I could see Picard having a model of every single Enterprise from the NX all the way up to the E, and maybe even the F. But there's a bit of controversy around the F. I won't go into that. I might go into that when we see it later on in the series. But I mean, I could see. I mean, they'd have. I could see him having a wooden ship of the HMS Enterprise, which was captured during the uh, Revolution, I believe. During the Revolutionary War, they captured a few of the Royal Naval ships. The USS Enterprise was previously the HMS Enterprise, um, and I could see him having the HMS Enterprise all the way up to the E at least, especially because the D and the E are ships that he served on, and I could see him having a original Stargazer model as well, because like we see that in TNG, because that was his first command. So yeah, but we always seem to have this painting, and you know, although it's a lovely painting, it really is. But do we have to see it in every single season? I just, I don't understand why. I mean, why can't we have something of the E? Because we haven't actually seen anything about the E in any of the Picard show seasons, which is really annoying. Really is. I mean, I think the only time we saw the E was a model in that lockup he had in season one. I think that was the only time we've actually seen a model of the E or the E represented in Picard, which is a shame. But I mean, I'd love to see the E, but obviously we're not going to get it, which is a shame because it's a beautiful ship. I mean, in my opinion, the E is probably the best looking Enterprise ever, besides the TOS one, of course. I mean, the TOS Enterprise was just beautiful. It was practical. The E was beautiful. I mean, they're both beautiful ships. I mean, the D to me, it's just considering how easy it is to destroy. We see it gets destroyed so easily in before early in the Dominion War, when they send the Galaxy class to the the Gamma Quadrant in DS9, and it gets blown up. One one Dominion ship crashes into it, and it just explodes. I mean, and was it the USS Yamamoto, the other sister ship of the Enterprise, the one that was destroyed by the Iconian probe virus? Well, I mean, the way I see it, the D just wasn't as powerful as it was portrayed. I mean, the E seemed to be the one Galaxy class that was actually, I don't know, useful. All the other Galaxy classes were just too easily destroyed, and it's just really annoying to just constantly see the D represented and none of the other ships represented. I mean, I know we're going to see the F later, but I mean, the D to me is not the best Enterprise. You know, I'm not going to go through which one is the best Enterprise, because I mean, I don't even think I know which one I believe is the best Enterprise. I'd have to go through all of the documentation. I have to do a lot of research for that. I might do that at some point, but we'll see. I might do a comparison between the E and the F. at some point. I don't know. We'll see. I mean, if you want to see that, then do a comment in the section below and let me know. And feel free to like, subscribe, and share, and click that bell icon so you get notified of all upcoming content. But okay, let's move on from this, because I mean I just don't like it that much, and there's a lot I could say about it. I mean, just seeing the painting. I mean, like I say, it's not in my opinion, it's not the best looking Enterprise. It's just the one we got for 7 seasons. And right, next we get a view of this space station. I'm not sure which space station this is. It could be Space Station 1, but yeah, it's in orbit of Earth, so it could well be the new variant of the Starbase 1. But who knows? We don't actually see it referenced, but it's the first time we see a ship leave space dock since the Search for Spock, I believe. And it just happens to be the Titan A, which is a Neo Constitution design. Yeah, they went there. They couldn't have the ship be an Enterprise, but you know, the Titan had to become a Neo Constitution. Go figure. What happened to the Lunar class at Titan? Weird. And we see a beautiful shot. I mean, hello, beautiful, as Riker says. I mean, it is a beautiful looking ship. I mean, it's really grown on me. The beauty shots that this ship gets are just numerous. And we got the modern variant of the shuttle there, with the same shape nacelles as the ship, which is a common thing in Star Trek. I mean, the shuttlecraft in TNG, the nacelles looked a lot like the nacelles on the Enterprise, except a few of them, they had the old style TMP style nacelles. But I mean, I can see where they're going. Yeah, I can see where they're going. But it's a beautiful looking ship. But like I've said previously, it's out of place in the modern fleet. I mean, I can't see why they would go backwards in design, unless they're reusing assets that were mothballed. So maybe that is a modified saucer from an actual Constitution. Who knows? I mean, it's got 2 decks. It looks like 2 decks in the rim of the saucer, which is the same as the original. So maybe that is the original saucer from a TMP era ship. Been retrofitted, maybe. Yeah, but we do. I mean, this is it coming out of space dock. I mean, it looks beautiful when it's moving, and it looks beautiful standing still. But we just don't know what it's going to look like later on. And 1/4 impulse. I mean, really. Aft thrusters only. 1/4 impulse. Can the thrusters really push a ship that size at 1/4 impulse? I mean, they're using thrusters. I don't think that the thrusters would necessarily be powerful enough to push it at half impulse, because especially considering that the impulse engines are on. So why wouldn't they just? I mean, why the thrusters? No, doesn't make sense. Why would the thrusters be able to push it at 1/4 impulse? Yeah, weird. But we get the captain of the Titan. Now, I don't like this guy. I think this guy is an arse. I really do think he's an arsehole. And I mean, the actor's doing it great. I mean, the actor's doing his job well, but it's just the way that the character is coming across. I mean, he is a real asshole, in my opinion. It's like he's probably one of those captains that's gotten through his entire career without firing the a torpedo or a phaser in anger. Yeah, I could just see that he's avoided fighting at any cost, and that's how he comes across. Um, and Seven has what looks like a disdain for him. I mean, she just I don't think she can stand him at all. I mean, he makes her go by Annika Hansen, which joining Starfleet, I can understand where he's coming from. I mean, that is her natural name. It is the name she was given when she was born, Annika Hansen. So Commander Annika Hansen sounds better than Commander 7 of 9. So, we'll see. Next up, we had a lot of stuff with Raffi up to this point, and Raffi is not my favourite character, and I mean, I don't care about Raffi. There's nothing. I'm not saying. I mean, the actress is doing a good job. I mean, it's just the character has been let down so much that I just don't care what happens to her. I don't care that she's working with Starfleet Security, which I think is actually she's not. I don't think she's actually working for Starfleet Security. I think she's from what it looks like in the episode. I think she's part of Section 31. And they had to keep the La Serena. Really, I mean, it's a nice looking ship, but I mean, I don't like it. I mean, it's not a Starfleet ship, and this Star Trek is Starfleet. So now that they got the Titan, why would they need the La Serena? Sorry, I said the La Serena. It should be why would they need La Serena? Because it is the anyway, the mermaid. But we find out that this is Starfleet recruitment. So I don't have a problem with that. I mean, Starfleet recruitment, it makes sense. They would have buildings on other planets, but I mean, you look at the size of that building to the city around it. It's enormous. I mean, how many recruits do you think go in there to join Starfleet on a daily basis? And they'll have something like that on every single Federation world, I would think. But Raffi's looking for a weapon. It's some sort of quantum tunneling weapon or something along those lines. And I can understand it. That makes sense because the way that this building is destroyed. I mean, you see that's it activating. That's the weapon activating. Now, I think it looks great. I mean, it's a great visual effect, and then it just like crumbles in on itself. But here's the best part: it's not actually an explosion. It's actually being pulled down, and then all of a sudden it appears in the sky, falling. So it's like what I think it's doing is, as a quantum tunneling device, it's basically like sending it to a position where it would physically be at a different time of day. So you can imagine the planet moving around the sun. Now, if you say, I don't know, move it a few hours into the future or into the past, then that's going to happen because the planet won't be in the same position. Now, especially like with Earth, poles are not at the top and the bottom; they're at an angle. There's an angle. I can't remember the specifics, but there's an angle. So if your object is on one point and then you move it until it's like a few hours or a day or so away from that position, then it'll most likely appear either in the sky, or beneath the ground, depending on whether you go forward or backwards. So I can understand that that's obviously some sort of quantum or temporal weapon, because obviously that's how it would happen. I mean, you're moving a planet, you're moving something from one place in time to another place in a different time. Now, the planets move, so as the planets move, it's not going to materialize in exactly the same place again, is it? Not like with other time travel things where you see something, someone's traveling through time and they're sitting there in a ship, and the ship's traveling through time, and you can see the whole world. You can see everything around them moving through time, but you don't see them getting, going through thousands of years and having the soil come up to cover the ship or a capsule or something. You don't have that, which is what would happen. Because you would stay in the same place, but everything around you will be moving in a way that, like I say, if you've got a pod or something, you're travelling through time. If you're travelling forward in time and you're sitting still and you can see everything moving around you, you would see the ground coming up, down, water would come along, so the ocean would change. And the environment around you would affect the outside of your ship or your capsule. So I'm ranting on about time or quantum physics now. I'm not a quantum physicist, but I understand that is a valid theory. And but I mean, if you agree with me, then please comment down below, and I will mention your comment or answer any questions that you leave in the comments in the next video. And please be civil, because I mean, no one deserves any hate or abuse. So please leave some civil messages or comments down below, and I will address them. But yeah, I think it's an interesting way to do it. I mean, they've obviously looked into what a quantum or temporal tunneling weapon would be capable of, and that is, in my opinion, what it would be like. But the fact that you see it drop straight down out of the sky in the same position as it was on the ground, I think that's great. I mean, that is exactly right, in my opinion. If there's any quantum physicists out there, I mean, let me know, because I would love to find out if I'm right. But I mean, quantum tunneling, temporal tunneling as a weapon, it would be along those lines, I would have thought. I mean, there's nothing to say it'll be aging or not aging. I mean, that's just sending an entire building a few hours or a day into the future or the past. That's how it works. So then we get to the ship that Beverly crashes on. I'm not going into too much detail, obviously, because I'm not doing a proper review. And yeah, we see this huge claw ship. I'm going to call it a claw ship, which is reminiscent of the Navara, but I don't know. I mean, there are some aspects there that remind me of the Navara from Nemesis. Yeah, but who knows? I mean, we'll find out next episode, I hope, and hopefully this villain will be closed out by then. But this is where it ends. I mean, it ends at this point with this ship appearing through the cloud, in the nebula cloud, and facing them. I'd like to know who this ship belongs to. This is that woman, obviously, that I have no idea who she is. I'm not the only one. But I mean, this has been my talk about Picard Season 3, Episode 1. I hope you've enjoyed it, because I've enjoyed it. I have ranted on a few times, and I apologise for that, but it's part of the process for me. And please feel free to like, subscribe, and click that bell icon. And thank you for watching.